Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? I am so excited. What's going on in your world? How y'all doing? So, I know. Laura, I know you're going to say, Laura, where have you been, girl? What have you been, sis? Where have you been, girlfriend? Look, starting a CNA program and running the business is it's everything. It's life. It's engaging, and you got your girl. I've been productive. All right. So I wanted to just come on and just talk about a few things in regards to online CNA programs because I've gotten a lot of good calls. I want to make sure I'm looking at my notes. Hold on. I have a lot of good calls, and I wanted to be able to answer some of those things that you I've been getting those questions, those things. So one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about here is I want to say like five mistakes that people may be making with their online program. So the first thing is your online program should not. The first mistake is that they're making their program look like something completely different than their in-person program. Let me say that one more time. Individuals, you're making it harder if you're going to make your online program look different, significantly different. Let me say that than your in-person program. And this is why it's maybe one key mistake that you could be making. It shouldn't be that different. I think a lot of times when I'm talking to career school owners or prospective future career school owners, yay to you, welcome to the journey and the process. I'm celebrating you. I think we put a lot more just extra in the process because we are expecting it to be hard and challenging. And I'm not saying that it's not hard, and I'm not saying that it's not challenging, and I'm not saying it's a piece of cake. But I know my personality. It's when I'm looking at everything from a distance, that ultimate goal. I think we can perceive extra roadblocks and challenges than what may be. I'm just saying. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is what I hear when I'm having my consultation calls. And yes, you can schedule a consultation with me by hitting me up on Facebook, on Messenger. You can even put a message and be like, hey, I want to talk about starting my online CNA program, and I'll send you my scheduling link for that. But I'm hearing it from you that I just thought it was going to be more complicated than this. Mm. Look, there's a lot of things that already have been created for you. There's a lot of things you do not have to recreate. A lot of time is just framing, and that's where I can help you with is framing that program and give you an example of what your program should entail curriculum wise. But my in-person curriculum here in Texas looks the same way that my in-person curriculum does. The students that are in person or online are not getting anything different. And to me, it has been the most simplest thing that I could have done for myself and for my instructors, because I'm saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over, right? The only thing that's different is enrollment dates. But when it comes to content, tests, exams, curriculum, what we're doing to engage our students, that looks the same. So the number one mistake could be that you could be making is making that online program or perceiving it to look different. As I talk about a few mistakes that I'm like reframing for school owners and those who are going to be on the journey, I'm going to also give you a caveat, like with the beauty of it. Flexibility, y'all. Like that is the biggest feedback that I'm getting from my students is the ability that our program offers a lot of flexibility. And when we think about flexibility, I don't want you to think about like they just decided when they want to show up. No, like flexibility meaning I'm a mom and I'm just coming home at 5. My class starts at 5:30. So at least I can just come home, get things started for my kids, and I can sit at my laptop and get connected with my instructor. Flexible. Versus I have to run home or I have to get somebody to be present for my kids, and then I have to go drive to your school, right? Obviously, the program is hybrid, or we know it's hybrid, or blended learning, meaning that our students do a significant part online, but that skills have to be done in person. But again, I feel like it gives our students a lot more freedom to be able to maintain the things that are happening in their lives, and also be able to obtain a goal that they've long awaited to and never had the right timing for it. All right. So that first mistake was creating an online program that looks different than your in person. If you create it the same, if your students are doing the same thing, it's simple for you, and it's simple for everybody else that joins your team, and it's simple for your students. When you're doing trainings, you're saying the same thing. You don't have to think about it. And I feel like on this journey, there's like a lot that I have to think about, and the less that I have to just think about, and it's just happening automatically. So that's the first mistake. The second mistake that I would say that a career school owner could possibly make in their program is not have engagement. One of the things that I hit on very, I don't know, hard, yes, like a lot for my instructors is engagement. Like, I don't want to micromanage your method on how you meet these objectives, because I want you to love the topic. And I know that then the students will love it too, because they're going to feel that coming off of you, right? So I don't ever want to have an instructor that I have to manage their methods per se. Now, what does that look like though? I have a whole bunch of resources because of my longevity in this part of the career. Over time, I have videos for everything. I've created some engagement tools all in 2020 to help with what the concept is really gamification, which is like competitive learning. So games and stuff to help my students learn. So I've created a lot of that to add and break up curriculum pieces. But if you have a program online that's not engaging, then I think that could be a mistake, because number one, it's a different, I wouldn't say a different type of student, but your students are now in the comfort of their home, at work, on the move, right? Our learners today are more on the move. As a nurse, and as nurses, most of the owners are nurses, or even if you have any type of career, we are on the move with everything. So you want to keep in mind that your online curriculum needs to be able to move with your students. It needs to be able to ride and flow. It needs to be able to go with them, and it needs to catch their attention. So I think I have a video already on the YouTube channel that talks about micro learning, and I need to really dedicate some time to really give more of maybe like a DIY type experience with micro learning, because I think that's where learning is going. I mean, I think that's what it is. I think YouTube shows us that getting small bits of knowledge can add to the retention and the ability for the adult learner to experience what we're talking about. So I want to keep this video short because that's what statistics tell me. But that's two mistakes that I think will help any person who's thinking about starting an online program, or if you already have one, to go back and reevaluate. Number one, does my program look different? And if it makes sense, then leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. My Louisiana, I be missing words and stuff. But if it's working, I always say don't break something that doesn't need to be fixed. But if you find that it's not jiving well with other things, then maybe look at consistency. Look at check and see if it's connecting. It's like, for instance, do my online students and my in-person students get tested on the same material? Are they getting the same test? If there's group assignments, are they get when I say like the same, I mean those things, like the very foundational parts of your online program. I'm not talking about, I don't know what else would look different, but sometimes I feel like we overthink the online process. And in reality, simplicity works. It works well for your students. and it works well for your instructors and it worked well for you. Keep it simple. You're running a business and you want to be able to ensure, number one, that your students are retaining the information that they're getting. So the simpler, the better. And, this is not a program that needs to be complicated. And I feel that about most programs, if not all. I mean, there needs to be some critical thinking skills developed in certain levels of healthcare and other careers. But a lot of times, and I know that I feel like instructors and programs have complicated things that didn't need to be because they were trying to challenge us and trying to weed us out. And I don't believe in that philosophy when it comes to our students. So, I don't want to I don't want to keep going, but number one, it should look the same. Two, that is just like state, y'all, because when you get your audits, you want them to be the same. Like you want to be apples to apples. Like it's simpler for that to be approved a lot quicker than if there's components that they're like, well, what is this and why, or asking more questions. So I always go with simple, and that's what I always recommend to my clients. And every single one of my clients have actually gotten their online program approved. It's not very hard to do. And you cannot skip the brick and mortar process at this point. The second point I made was lacking engagement. So just think about you as a learner. We have different types of learning styles and methods. So you want to make sure that your program is hitting those different type of learners. Like there's some things that just have to be lectured, right? But could it be like a Q&A lecture? Could it include, should it not just be the instructor talking? And could it be like a question? Hey, we talked about congestive heart failure yesterday. Why do you think, based on what we learned, that a person has edema? And they're going to get it wrong. Someone's going to get it right. But that lecture now becomes alive because we now are making our students think, about the material versus us just giving it to them. So when I say engagement, again, I want you to keep it simple. And my DIY course does go over other engagement resources that you could implement in your program. But I was going to be trying to do 5, y'all, to do another video because this is already 12 minutes. But I hope that helps to kind of discover and help you identify, am I making these mistakes? Am I viewing or perceiving my online program to be more difficult than it needs to be? And number 2, is it engaging? Whatever I'm doing and creating, will my students be engaged? Especially in your lecture part of it, right? That's where the engagement can come alive. Also, any homework, that could be something that can come alive if you think about it in a more simple way. All right. So this is my YouTube live from my office. And I just hope that you are encouraged on this journey. It is, I don't know, it's a different place to be in your stuff and to be on the journey of developing something that you probably wanted for a while. I know it's something that we've wanted for a very long time, at least 10 years. So I'm excited, and I'm excited that, like discovering and understanding how an online program could be so beneficial to my business and yours, that I can be of a help and support. So I hope that this live this live actually helped you. And I was like, let me just get on and say it because I can plan stuff, y'all know how it is. And then I'm like, so I wanted to get on here and just say hello and give you a few nuggets in my belt. Have a good, awesome, amazing Monday.